All right. So I saw this pop up earlier today, and it's a pretty interesting story. And I was thinking about reporting on it, and then there's more news that has come out. So we're going to give you an update on the potential of this not being 100% accurate. But anyway, I saw this video pop up yesterday with Tory Lanez, who I'm sure everybody knows all about Tory Lanez, and he posted a video clip, and I'll read you the caption before we watch the video, and who knows, maybe we're going to get slammed for watching the video, but I guess we'll fight the fair news fight. This was on Academics' Instagram. Tory Lanez posted it. This is an ongoing problem in our community of entertainment that needs to stop. As a black man, sometimes I'm going to joke about the black community just like we all do, but what I'm not going to do is allow any of these directors to devalue our black women. Countless times I've seen directors swap out our women of color for women of lighter complexion or women with straighter hair, etc. It is our responsibility as artists to stand up and not let this happen. It's been time to embrace our women of color. Hashtag Black is Beautiful. So let's watch this clip here. Ooh, I might want to... Okay, we're going to make sure the music doesn't play too loud there. So what you see in the clip is you see Tory Lanez just sort of shooting his video, and you notice earlier he had this sort of darker skinned woman, and then they sort of boot her out of there and sent that more light skinned girl in there, and then Tory says cut and tells the director that he's not feeling that and sort of ushers in this much darker skinned woman than the one they tried to replace her with. So Tory, I guess, was just trying to make a statement by posting that. I mean, it's one thing to imagine that he might have had something to say about using one model over another model during the actual creation of the video, but for him to then post the clip at a later date as sort of like an indication is what some people might call virtue signaling, just trying to sort of present himself in a positive light to let everybody know that he is of a particular viewpoint on how society should be structured. And in a case like this, I mean, you can't really blame him too much. I mean, you could imagine that in a situation like this, I mean, anybody in the rap game, let's just get down to brass tacks, anybody in the rap game knows that this is a very common situation, that very rarely in rap videos do you see really, really dark-skinned women being given the same love that you might see given to girls who are lighter-skinned. And anybody who really pays attention to the rap game and what girls are chosen for what video projects could probably acknowledge that this is, in fact, a problem, or at least like a status quo that I think needs to be changed. But anyway, Hot New Hip Hop did an article about it. Tory Lanez slams claim that he staged colorism incident during video shoots. So we're going to get down to that. There's an accusation that this was actually staged, which is interesting because when I saw the video initially, that was kind of my reaction. I was like, this looks maybe a little performative. Like maybe he knew what he was doing and wanted to represent the fact that he was doing like the timeout thing. That is what sort of raised some red flags for me and made me think, I wonder if this is 100% authentic. But anyway, Tory Lanez took to Instagram recently where he called out the issue of colorism in hip-hop after an alleged incident happened on the set of Nafe Small's Good Love. In the clip he posted, he called for a timeout in the middle of the shooting when the director allegedly tried to swap out a brown-skinned model for a light-skinned model. Colorism has been an issue in hip-hop, but as it turns out, that may not have been the case on set. The model who was swapped, Sultry Chen. Oh, look at this. We actually have the Instagram link. Oh, and it's a link directly to her story. That's an odd choice. God. Okay. I'm not going to get into how this Instagram account makes me feel or anything. But, yes, she's very attractive. Oof. Okay. Continuing on. I got a little sidelined there. Sultry Shen, not Sultry Chen. Sultry Shen called out Tory, claiming that the whole thing was staged. The other model, Alicia Dixon, also said that Tory staged the scenario, but now Tory is refuting those claims. So I'm not sure exactly where the Alyssa Dixon said that, but this is the Sultry Shen. This is her quote, and this was posted by East Renaissance, which I guess maybe is like a Canadian hip-hop meme account type thing. Shout out to Six Buzz. She wrote, "Where is the scene then if Tory Lanez wanted me so bad? The director is the best director I know. Fake news," the model says. Wow. Now that's really interesting because it is sort of like the director is being thrown under the bus here. The director is definitely the one who's sort of taking the brunt of what's being said because he's the one who's sort of being painted to look like a racist. Tory seems to be doubling down on the alleged incident, even with people doubting him. The rapper issued a statement on his Instagram story and denied that it was a publicity stunt, although he admitted that he went out of his way to address the topic. Let's just read the post here in full. This is the one and only time I'm going to address this. I went out of my way to bring awareness to an important topic of discussion that never gets addressed. The internet has a funny way of trying to take the light off of truthful stuff. If this was a publicity stunt, why would I be doing it for someone else's music video? Why wouldn't I have paid the females involved? And if I did pick both girls, then how come there's only shots of me with the ebony model and not with the other one? I just want to interrupt there and say that, I'm not an expert on when someone's lying or not, but this does seem a little weird that he immediately goes to like asking these questions that really have nothing to do with the situation. Like when he says, why would I be doing it for someone else's music video? I mean, there's a pretty obvious answer to that. You might have thought that it would read better if you did it on your own, on someone else's music video. You might have thought that it was a better opportunity. It might have just sort of presented yourself. Nobody really thinks that Tory Lanez has been like plotting this thing out for like 6 months in advance. It might have just sort of been this spur of the moment thing. And then he writes, why wouldn't I have paid the females involved? I mean, why would you have paid the females involved? It's somebody else's music video shoot. Anyway, that to me just sort of pops out at me as like, that doesn't make sense. That's not what people who are being truthful do. They don't just start throwing out questions, trying to raise doubt about the accusation. They would just refute it. Now, again, I'm not calling Tory a liar, but that does stand out to me as rather strange. If I did pick both girls, then how come there's only shots of me with the ebony model and not the other one? Mind y'all, this video shoot happened 3 months ago, and a behind-the-scenes cameraman DM'd it to me the other day. All parties that were involved know exactly what happened in the 30 minutes that I was at the shoot. Whether or not they want to be truthful or not, much love. So yeah, Shade Room was nice enough to capture that for us, and I actually have taken a look here at the video for Nafe Smalls featuring Tory Lanez that popped off the song Good Love. It's just more of a, I don't know, what do they call that shit? World music? Yeah, it was definitely created in the world and not so much in my neck of the woods. Anyway, what do I think about this? Well, it's pretty interesting. You remember that guy, Adam Sala, I believe is his name? He was the dude that was friends with FouseyTube, and he got fucked up in the media at one point because they accused him of sort of staging a fake racist incident on an airplane where he was acting really, really suspiciously, acting very, very weird. And then the airline actually like removed him from his seat, and he was acting as weird as possible, I guess. And then once they removed him from his seat, he started screaming about Islamophobia and all this. And that was an example that a lot of people pointed to, that they were like, oh, well, this is a clear-cut example of, sort of performative, staged racism to get to get a response from the public. And he was really kind of treated poorly in the media for that, although also probably for the most part the media supported him in that. But, a lot of people in the YouTube type community, the skeptics and everything, they sort of looked at that and they were like, this ain't right. So I guess the question is like, is Tory potentially at fault here? I think I can understand the point that he was making to such an extent that it doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really matter if this was an actual incidence of the director feeling like he was doing something racist or he was really, preferring somebody with light skin over a darker skinned girl. But I guess that's the issue. I don't know if I would say that this is actually an issue in this specific situation, but overall, is it an issue that I think that is worthy of Tory Lanez calling attention to? Yes, I definitely do. I think that this is something worth talking about because let's face it, this is a real thing that, girls who are darker skinned are not always given like the same opportunities and are sometimes kind of treated differently. I think that's why you see a lot of artists who really go out of their way, like if they're going to have backup dancers or whatever, they'll go real out of their way to make sure that the backup dancers are all darker skinned just because they want to sort of help re-navigate that theme in hip-hop music and try to sort of give more opportunities where they wouldn't be given normally. You notice this all the time, too. I feel for any of the darker skinned girls that maybe feel like they're not getting a fair shake. Over here, No Jumper. you'll get a fair shake here. Because as I was saying, Sultry Shen, I might have to add her to my list of bookmarks. I might have to investigate this more in the future. Jesus. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that Tory was in any way wrong for this. Appreciate y'all. Drop a like, drop a comment. Gang. Peace.